Hello, my name is Brown Mills, and I'd like to welcome you back to the channel where not only do we like talking about great stocks, but we love talking about great crypto, and we also love talking about great books. Hey, family, I hope you guys are having a phenomenal week. I just wanted to do a video about the EV sector now, or the EV industry. Now, there are some stocks that I like to follow in the EV industry, and I'm a long-term holder in some of these stocks. ChargePoint, Plug, Fuel Cell. You talk about Neo, Tesla, and there are many others. You know, the solar companies. There are many others that ran up pretty well prior to the new administration coming in. And they ran it well based on the speculation that we would be moving forward with these new industries. All right. And so there are some industries or some companies that has been laying the great foundation for great opportunities. And we were just waiting for the new administration to come in and hopefully get some things passed. But we've been hit with the pandemic, and of course, we've been giving out tremendous amounts of money when it comes to the stimulus, and so these stocks, right, have pretty much taken a nosedive because long-term investors, they can see that, man, this stuff is being placed on the back burner right now. We don't know what the future may hold. We don't know if any of the things that the current administration wants to get passed when it comes to infrastructure and this Green New Deal. We're unsure that these things are going to happen. And so what happens is these stocks in those industries are starting to suffer, right? And so three that I love taking a look at is, because what I like to do is, not only do I maybe long term invest in some of these, but I also like to play some call options. And so call options or put options are a great way to make some additional income. And when you take a look at fuel sale here, man, it had a tremendous nice run up. A lot of people made a lot of money there, and then we pretty much had a nosedive, right? So we've had a nosedive. So but what I like to do is I like to pay attention to the candlestick development. I like to take a look at the trends. I like to take a look at the momentum, and I like to really take a look at these patterns and see if there are entry and exit points that I can use to play some call options or some put options. All right, so my main indicator is that 20-day SMA. And so when we take a look at fuel cell, once we cross below the 20 day SMA simple moving average, we haven't had another day where we've actually crossed and began moving upward. All right. So every time we cross below, we did reach back to that 20-day SMA, the 20-day simple moving average. Then we will fall below, right? We'll come back up, we'll fall below, we'll come back up, fall below. So now we're just trending along the 20 SMA. All right. And so what I like to do is, when we get down here and I see a nice candle that gives me the potential that there may be a reversal, I'll jump in and ride this thing up, and then I'll sell, make some fast money. And so fuel cells one I like. Plug is another one that I like. And again, we crossed over that 20-day SMA. We're going down here. We have crossed over here. Now we're starting to flatten out here. So we may have bottomed out at 27.55. We're going to have to continue waiting. This may pose a great opportunity for a reversal in pattern, and hopefully, man, we can start moving to the upside. We could start developing a strong reversal in pattern. Like we had a nice huge uptrend, then we had a strong reversal in pattern to the downside. So hopefully once we get above this 20 like we are now, hopefully we can start building a strong reversal pattern to the upside. But again, with what's going on and with the state of affairs, It's hard to say that these companies will have strong uptrends unless we get some good news. All right, we need good news. All right, again, ChargePoint is another one. ChargePoint is another great company, great potential, great future. Again, had a huge run up. And again, it's been choppy. So we had a reversal in pattern, strong downtrend. We had a reversal in pattern, rolled this thing up, came back down, right? Get back to the 20. We'd fall below the 20. And then we're just riding along the 20-day SMA. And so when it comes to placing call options or put options, it's basically a bet. You're betting that the price is going to reach a certain level, it's going to go up to a certain level, or it's going to come down to a certain level. And if your option increases in value, so does your option. As the price increases in value, your option increases in value. And so, but when we have plays like this, we want to be out. We want to be sitting in the sideline because we want a clear sense of a pattern. Like when we came down here, we saw that there was a potential reversal in pattern. We rolled this thing up from 21 to 26, had an opportunity to make some good money on some call options. But as of right now, we're just flat on this thing when it comes to placing call options. All right, now let's take a look at the Biden some news that came out last week. Biden orders the government to prepare the economy for climate change. Biden signed an executive order to mitigate the financial risk of the climate crisis of Americans. This comes as Democrats are pushing to address climate issues and in an infrastructure bill, which the GOP opposes. Alexandria Cortez recently introduced the Green New Deal, has an estimated $10 trillion price tag. Now think about that, man. So we've been giving out trillions and trillions of dollars, and there you're talking about an infrastructure bill that's going to add another $10 trillion to the deficit. And so, man, you're going to have some fiscal responsibility, right? So how much money can you spend? A primary focus of President Joe's agenda is addressing the climate crisis. And on Thursday, he signed an executive order aimed at mitigating the financial risk the crisis brings onto American families and businesses. The White House released Joe Biden's executive order on climate-related financial risk, dedicated to analyzing and mitigating the risk the climate crisis poses on homeowners, businesses, consumers, and the government. After Texas's huge winter storm in February, the state's entire power grid shut down, costing residents huge electric bills. Biden's executive order will work to prevent something like that from happening again. Well, even if now, how can you prevent something like that from happening? Right? The only way you can prevent something like that happening is if every resident had its own solar power station at its home, right? Or if they had their roof covered with solar power. So, if you have a power grid that's being charged by solar, if there's some catastrophic event that happens, people will still lose power, right? The only way you're going to have to change that from happening is if everyone in Texas have solar grids or solar roofs on top of their homes, right? So again, that's going to cost, huge amounts of money. Let's go down to let me see. Like this executive order comes as Biden is pushing his $4 trillion infrastructure plan, which includes significant climate change investments to create jobs and build sustainable housing, among other things. Specifically, his American Jobs Plan, which invests $35 billion in climate research and development, $213 billion to retrofit over 2 million housing units, and $30 billion for innovation and jobs creation. Democrats are also advocating climate crisis to be at the top of Congress agenda. All right, and so we've been in. I think the president has been in for about 4 months now, and I He's tackling a lot of issues, right? Dealing with this pandemic. And I think he proposed, taxing the wealthy, taxing those who invest in, the cryptocurrency market. And, you know, when it comes to problem solving and it comes to generating money, the only thing I hear is, well, tax the wealthy, tax the rich. Well, you know, the past administration I give respect to, because they did the one thing I've said has been that should have been done for decades. You have countries that import goods into the United States and pay no import tax, pay no tariffs. But when we import all of our goods out to other countries, we have to pay an import tax. We have to pay tariffs. And you, as a leader of this country, when that stuff was established decades ago, I mean, it was great to help build up other countries, but now these other countries are doing quite well, and we are the country that's struggling when it comes to a manufacturing standpoint. And so, if a country like China is going to import, $100 billion worth of goods in here, they should be paying tariffs. They should be paying taxes. And the last administration is the only administration that had the guts to stand up against China. And now, that's how we solve problems. If Mexico and China and all these other countries, Malaysia, if all of these other countries want to import goods into our country, it's only right that they pay their fair share, right? I mean, they are creating a win-win situation for themselves. The manufacturing jobs are going overseas, so they manufacture the goods, they ship the goods over here, and they pay no import tax, no tariffs. That's not right. And we are shipping all of our goods over there. That's not right, that we have to pay import and tariffs. And so if you want to, right, get a hold of the financial situations, right? Stop blaming the rich or the wealthy people in the United States. Blame these countries that are shipping billions and billions and trillions of dollars of goods over here, right? When you take a look at the average home, 75-80% of the stuff is made in China. It's not made by some rich person in California. It's not made by some rich person in Connecticut. The goods and the average home is made in China. And so we need to start holding and making these countries accountable. It's only right that they pay their fair share. This is the type of stuff that we need to be pumping out to the public. Make these countries pay their fair share for importing those goods over here. And that's the only way we can get out of this situation. All right, you're talking about we're trillions and trillions of dollars in debt with the coronavirus and all the stimulus packages. And then you're talking about passing another $10 trillion infrastructure bill. And then you're saying, well, the bill won't get passed because of Republicans. Man, that doesn't make any sense. Who's going to be responsible, right? Someone has to be fiscally responsible. Someone has to say, hold on a minute. As a country, we have to have checks and balances in place. We can't just keep printing out money. Eventually, something's going to come to a head. Something, and we're going to get to the point where we're going to collapse as a country if we keep going in this huge spirals of debt. All right, we can't keep getting in debt. We need to really start focusing on a plan to get out of debt. And it's not making rich white people pay, or rich people of any race or any creed pay, more in taxes. You know, we can deal, we can get this situation resolved if you start holding these countries that import tens and hundreds of billions of dollars worth of goods over here. We can solve that problem, but you have to have the guts. As a leader, you have to have the kahunas. You got to say, hey man, look, let's sit down. Let's do what's right. But no one wants to ruffle any feathers, right? No one wants to ruffle feathers. The last president, he did that. And that's one thing I respect, is because he wasn't afraid of these other countries, and he really wanted them to pay that, because it's only smart. It's like common sense. All right, but that's enough on my going off on a tangent. And so that's all I have for you guys today. Now, if this video added any value to you, hey, please leave a like, hit the subscribe button, and keep coming back for more wealth building information. Peace.